Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we had a real near tragedy happen off the Tampa Bay cruise port when a cruise ship wake overturned a small boat and sunk it, leaving two people and their dog in the water. Tell you what happened with that. We also have one day after I'm talking about Carnival cruise ships and how they're getting up in age. Well, I got a story about one that, well, it just broke down. Surprise, surprise, getting up in age. And then we have, let's talk about airlines for a second. We have changes coming to carry-on bag rules. And it could affect your next trip dramatically as new fees and sizes and things like that are all popping up on the next flight if you're flying economy. So our first story comes from the port of Tampa Bay, where a cruise ship, we're not sure which one, it was definitely a Royal Caribbean ship, it was either the Radiance of the Seas or the Enchantment of the Seas, was being escorted out by two pilot ships, and their wake got very close to a very small boat. It was around sunset, and it overturned the boat, causing the people to go into the water. And luckily there was a lifebuoy, like a guide buoy close by, and they were able to swim over to it and cling to the side of the buoy. Well, passengers on board noticed it and saw that the boat was in trouble, contacted the crew right away, but you know how hard it is to slow down a big, large cruise ship once its engines are running at full tilt. By the time they stopped, they did lower a tender boat to head out to try and do search and rescue, but they also contacted the pilot boats as well as the Coast Guard. And luckily, through a coordinated effort, they all found these people alive and well. Well, their boat is gone, but at least they're alive. And it just goes to show you that you never want to get too close to a cruise ship in a small boat or any large, a tanker heading out with full, like a container ship heading out at full speed. You don't want to get close to those wakes in small boats. They don't look like much from the back of a cruise ship. It looks beautiful. Oh, look at the wake of the cruise ship. Looks lovely. And then the next thing you know, if you get too close to it, those waves are 7 and 8 feet tall and can easily swamp a small motorboat, a canoe, a rowboat, etc. So luckily these people, turns out the story alive and well, and I guess we'll have to look at what happened. How come this boat wasn't spotted? Was it, a small boat with no light, etc.? Because it was happening right at sunset, and you can see it was getting very dark. They even had to switch on the night vision to record the rescue going on. But good news, alive and well. Next we have engine problems. We had the Carnival Conquest, which is 21, 22 years old now, was returning to the port of Miami when it developed engine issues yesterday. And unfortunately, it was about 3.5 hours late getting into the port of Miami. They sent out messages to everybody, please show up to the port late. Please don't come on your scheduled time to get on the ship because they have to clear out everybody. And then the congestion of everybody trying to leave and come in at the same time would just be a mess. It usually turns into a mess anyway because a lot of people say, well, I'm at the hotel and I can't stay here past 11 o'clock. I gotta leave. And so they head to the cruise port anyway and say, we'll just wait. But that still causes all the congestion. Well, it's unclear what the engine issues were. They just knew they weren't able to make full speed. Everything else on the ship is running. The entertainment's going, the casino's going, the electricity's going. Everything else is running fine. However, when I looked this morning at 10 a.m., this ship was supposed to be in Princess Cays, the private island, and it's nowhere near it. It is still circling around in the water, not even close to Nassau, which is its second stop on the way back to the port of Miami. So it looks like it's going to miss at least one cruise port destination, and it's unclear if it's even going to make it to Nassau, As you can see by the diagram, it was just circling around for a while and not really heading in any particular direction towards the 2 stops it was supposed to do. It's a 4-day cruise, and I have a feeling they haven't fixed the issue. Otherwise, you would have saw a straight line over to either Nassau or Princess Cays, but we haven't seen that yet. Let's hope they get it fixed for upcoming cruises. But again, as I mentioned, does Carnival have a problem as their ships get older and older? We're hearing more and more propulsion issue breakdowns. And this one isn't even one of their oldest ships. This one's only 21, 22 years old compared to the ones that are 27 years old already. Let's see what happens in the future. And next, let's talk about the airline carry-on bags. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the lucky and dramatic rescues and what not to do with your small boat near a cruise port, to your cruises that are being interrupted because of possible engine problems, to ports that are being canceled, to new ships coming online. We're going to talk about it all here on the channel, and I hope to keep you as best informed for your next coming cruise as best I can. And I really hope you'll join us here. It really does help the channel when you leave those comments, leave those like buttons, and when you subscribe. It just tells YouTube, hey, people really like cruising videos. We're interested in cruising videos. Let's share it to more people and see who else might be interested. And again, really do appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about the airline carry-on bags. They are now consolidating. Both the European and North American airlines are consolidating and coming up with a single size now for carry-on bags. Some of the carriers now are even moving to start charging people for your carry-on luggage if you're flying in economy. That goes for anywhere flying in North America or the sunny destinations like the Caribbean or Mexico. For instance, here in Canada, they have now implemented a $25 bag for your first carry-on bag, and a second carry-on bag would be $50. And if you forget and just go to the luggage and the ticket counter and you show up with your bag and you considering that as a personal carry, instead of $25, it'll be $35. They even raised the price for that. Also, the size has shrunk. And the trouble with carry-on bags, as you know, they come in a wide variety of sizes. And so some people will read, oh, guaranteed airline safe, which means, you know, it's the proper size for all the airlines carry it. Well, in a recent survey by one of the news media out there, they surveyed and did a thing on over 100 different carry-on bags. 60% of them failed the new size regulations, which would mean you would have to check that bag. Normally, for instance, on Air Canada, if they ask you to check a bag because you hear that announcement, this flight is very full and there may not be enough room for everybody, well, that check bag, they would say that's for free. You could do it for free. That's no longer going to be the case. They are getting ready to start charging people even for those bags that get disapproved at the gate. Be prepared for that going forward. A lot of other airlines are looking at it now. American Airlines, Delta Airlines, they're all looking at doing more fees and doing the designated size now, one size right across the industry, which of course makes it easier for them to say that bag is too big, too small, etc., whatever they want to say. But it's long story short is it's basically going to cost us more money. That's the idea, because flights, as we all know, are super cheap right now. Tongue firmly in cheek while I'm saying that, because they are absolutely not cheap right now. Well, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Do you think these airline regulations are just getting crazy? I don't mind the designated size right across the industry. I do mind that they're now charging us for certain carry-on bags that they never charged before. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.